Morning, everyone. Today we're going to be diving into our next part of the book. This section is really long, so I think it's going to have its own video. It's titled Reinvention, not Ridicule. So we're just going to jump right in, and this is some of the how-to on the Adam and Eve process that we talked about earlier. So, if you know anything about contracting or understand the process of like planning stuff out, this is where we're going to start. So when we drop plans to build a house, it can have unforeseen setbacks due to variables that couldn't have been predicted. The same thing with us when we start pulling at these loose strings in our personhood. Most time, the thing that's seemingly the problem on the surface can often be attached to a deeply rooted belief that makes us feel as though we aren't allowed to be authentic to our true self. We subconsciously aim for mediocrity instead of authenticity, which makes others around us more comfortable with us, but does quite the opposite to ourselves when we deny pieces of our fundamental self. I cannot even start to put a number to how many times I've been in that situation. Sometimes I can be a lot, but I know who I am, and the hardest part of that is wanting to have friends and have them not really understand who you are or where you're coming from. It makes life really difficult. So let's see. So I've learned over time that the practice of alignment with self is a key to a successful rebuilding of the self or relationships that are having that struggle. Relationships, honestly, that function on you hiding who you truly are not healthy relationships to begin with. So why would you go out of your way to make somebody else in that relationship comfortable when you're not? These are all questions like I sat down and asked myself, and I know I'm kind of like getting into this like really hard and fast, but honestly, when we are being who we truly are and doing the things that we truly love, we attract to those people that are on our same vibration, that will naturally understand us and that will resonate with our current vibration and our current energy, and that's amazing. That's amazing. So let's see. So if we stay with the example that I've been using since the beginning of this, because it's the most valid, I think, for the majority of people. It was for me, so in my experience, that's where I was coming from. So if we stay with the example of like anger, your alignment would simply to be calm. Reinvent, align, and focus on now. This is the thing that a lot of people don't see as a problem, but they are holding on to past resentments or slights or things that hurt in the past. So they can't be totally present in now if you're worried about things that happened then. I hear a lot the example given of people like driving, and your way forward is massive. You can look right out the windshield and it shows you everything that's in front of you. But a lot of people are focused on the rear view mirror, which is so tiny. and it doesn't give you a full view of what's behind you. So we want to look forward and be now, be present, like watch the road. You can't predict what everybody driving in front of you is going to do while they're driving. You can't control anybody else's car from inside yours. So that's like really important dynamics to understand for being present and being here and being where you need to be and focused on what you need to be focused on. Since nothing is quite this simple, and I understand because I've been through all of this, and I'm sorry if I'm very shiny right now. It's like 90 degrees, so it's very hot. It's very hot, and I may be very shiny because I'm very sweaty. But I still wanna do these videos because this whole process just makes me super excited and super happy because I've seen it work in a lot of cases. Everybody that I have kind of like gotten into this process has made amazing improvements in their life. So I want to share it. I want everyone to be able to do this and know that it is completely up to you, and the only thing that's stopping you is you. You are your biggest weapon against this, and you are also your biggest stumbling block against this, because you have to realize that you are in control. That's simple. Okay, so sometimes we have to dig in order to build a secure foundation. So just like with the plans for the house, and our planning or designing of self, we need to know that sometimes looking at these aspects of self, these behaviors that we've picked up, is really uncomfortable because we don't like to look at those things where we're like, oh, this is a character flaw, oh, this is a bad behavior, because we think it's a bad behavior. It's labeled. It's not something that, you know, is very easy to just accept. Acceptance is hard. I've heard from a few people that I'm working with currently, acceptance is hard. But once you do that, you open to the possibility of everything. If you accept that you do not like your car, you are then open to go find a new one, right? Every possibility out there. You could lease a car, you could rent a car, you could buy a second-hand car, you could get something that's brand new. You have all the options. But until you're ready to let go of the old junky car that, you know, starts half the time, it doesn't, you know, get you where you need to go, breaks down all the time, until you're ready to let that go, you're going to be stuck with it. You're going to be dealing with it, because that's a choice you're making. And the only one that can change that is the person that looks in the mirror. Nobody can do it for you. And that's kind of hard. Yep. But you're the one that's driving, you know? Only you can steer the car. Only you can steer the boat. That's another saying that I've heard for a long time. Okay, so my favorite way to kind of like poke around in this foundation and see if it's solid, see if there's any cracks, is to ask a lot of questions. If you guys have been here for any amount of these videos, you realize I ask a lot of questions. And some of them may seem pointless, but those answers that I get back are usually really telling about what you truly want as a person, and the amount of effort that you are willing to put into accommodating that change, which is really important because, oh, somebody can sit around and say, yeah, I want $1,000,000, but what are you doing to get it? What are you doing to get it? And to me, personally, I think this is a lot easier than getting $1,000,000. Because you are completely in control of yourself if you want to be. I don't know. It seems pretty self-explanatory. All right. So, so when I was doing this process for myself, I asked as many questions as I need until I fully understand the path from start to reaction and the background of the reaction. So where it came from, why I do it, and what triggers me. So this part is like gardening for me. In as much as we need to weed our plants, I don't know about you guys, but I live here in the US. I live up in Vermont. We are like a dandelion farm up here. Not that dandelions are bad, but I just don't like them in my veggie beds, you know. So also maple trees, when those things get rooted, forget it. So these are some of the setbacks of being up here, but it's beautiful. So let's see. Yep, gardening. Let's see. If not, we would have a patch of dirt where anything the wind blew in would grow. This is true. Completely defeating the point of having a garden. The point is that if you're planting seeds or plant starts with ones you want to consume, make sure that they're healthy plants so you're not wasting time and energy on things that won't bear fruit. Just an example of this is, and I've brought this up a few times too because it's my experience, it might not be yours. The whole count to 10 thing when you get mad does not work for me. Does not work for me. I tried for months and it's not a good fit. It actually stressed me out more because I know I'm supposed to be calm by the time I get to 10, but I never was. So I tried taking walks and being in nature, and that works for me because it saturates my senses, so I have no choice but to hear birds, frogs, the wind, etc. I feel the sun or the rain or the wind or whatever it's doing outside. I can also smell the flowers or fresh cut grass or even the scent of fresh snow. It does have a smell. That's one of my favorites, actually. So I also see these things. So I have a sense of smell, sight, like a feeling on my skin, whether it's wind or sun or rain or even snow. I have like all my senses saturated. And so that will take me out of that emotional space and back into my physical being. So I'm not projecting those emotions outwards. So with my emotional body shut down, my mind stopped spooling and my emotions quiet. I can just breathe. From here, I can assess how best to respond without it being tainted by my reactive emotions. This is my personal biggest step in the reinvention process. Finding what works for you is a game changer. Abso-freaking-lutely. I don't know how many times I've fought with this, just like trying to get over it. You can't do it until you find that thing that resets you, that thing that grounds you, that thing that brings you into here and now, so that you can deal with whatever issue it is that you're dealing with. That in itself is a game changer. You guys will definitely benefit from just finding something that works, whether it's taking deep breaths, whether it's taking a 5 minute time out, whether it is counting. Some people, maybe that works for them. I can only tell you my experience, so this is mine. Um, so let's see. It's like weeding and getting out every last taproot on the first try. That's what it's like. It's like as soon as you're like, oh, there's a weed, let's pull it out, and it just comes right out. That's what finding your centering modality is like. It literally will change your life. It's great. I don't even know. It's a very empowering realization. All right, so we have a little time left. We have a few questions as always, because I love questions. So what judgments do you hold against yourself? Honestly, I would suggest you guys grab like a notebook and take notes, like write it down, treat it like homework, because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to get to learn about you. I learned about me, and you guys are going to learn about me, but I'm hoping that in learning about me and like some of the crappy things that I've been through, and some of those challenges, that maybe it'll help you to overcome some of your own, I don't know, maybe unwanted behaviors. Let's put that way. Okay, so what judgments do you hold against yourself? It can be more than one. It can be just one. I always thought I was just a miserable human being, and that is entirely not true. Actually, I'm a pretty happy, positive person, and I get along with a lot of people, but my biggest problem is I can't be fake. It makes me really uncomfortable, and it does not feel good to me. The whole small talk, how's the weather kind of thing, which is ironic because I started this talking about the weather. That's so funny. All right, so, that stuff just seems so superficial to me. I would much rather ask questions like this. These are the things I want to know. They hold substance for me. So more questions. Who is your worst critic? Is it you? Is it the voices of the ego in your head? Is it a parent? Mine probably was a parent. I think as I got older, probably the voice of that parent still kind of hung around in my brain and took up space, and kept on pulling up those emotional scars that I had, to let me know where I wasn't healed yet. And it never felt like that. It always felt like I was having a constant battle against a memory that I didn't want to have. And I think that's an important thing in shadow work, is looking at those things that we really don't want to deal with, those things that are very hurtful to us, and then being able to go through processes like this where we can transmute that energy, we can alchemize it, we can make it functional for us, and it can help us to look back in that rear view every now and then and be like, whoa, I don't even see where I started anymore. Like, that's insane. progress is an amazing thing, which is why we take a lot of notes, because we can see how we were feeling, we can see where we came from, we can see how much work we've put in, we can see how our perspective on ourselves has changed, on other people, on situations, and it's an amazing thing. We have two more questions. Ready, ready, ready? All right. Who are you becoming? I want to know. I want to know. Who do you see yourself as? I went from somebody who was frequently triggered, I would say almost daily. I went from that to somebody who is just happy and living life and being. As a matter of fact, my daughter and I took out our big, ginormous box of seeds. We're going to plant some flowers later. We exist and we do things that bring us happiness. Because that's all we can do. We can make that choice. Or we can make a choice to be miserable. I mean, the choice is totally up to you guys, but for myself, I just want to be happy. All right. So, last one. Why are you transforming? Why? Because if you sit here and listen to this, if you answer any of these questions, if this resonates with you, you will transform. Your soul will pull you onto this path. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, it may sound insane. Fine. But it's life. It's life. It's a call to a higher vibration. And this is what the world needs right now. So, why? Why? Why do you want to transform? If you don't know yet, then that's fine. Take that down in your notes. Grab a notebook. I mean, I have so many notebooks everywhere, so many sticky notes everywhere. I have notes here, notes there, everywhere. Note. If notebooks were animals, I would have a farm. Let me put it that way. So, this is going to be our chapter for today, and hopefully you guys will stay here because we're getting into the how, the why, and the application for the Adam and Eve process, which is just something that I've been doing since I figured out how to fix myself, and I kind of split it up into sections, and it's in a workable format so other people can understand it, which is kind of cool. All right, next time we're gonna get into the do's, not the don'ts. It's not do's and don'ts, it's do's, not don'ts, okay? And we'll explain that next time. But until then, keep your head up, keep looking forward, be here, be now, and enjoy life. See you later, guys.